Welcome back to Furuno Connections. In this episode, we continue on with our MFDs shootout. Specifically, we're covering the user interface, and we're seeing how the systems stack up side by side. Today, we're going to be covering things like how to customize your display, the built-in features, the charts, and a few more along with that. So let's go ahead and dive in.
So Eric, tell me about the new TZT3 built-in features.
Well, there's a lot of built-in features, Cap, but one of the nice things is it's got a built-in GPS. Now, all of our competitors have built-in GPS. They all have WAS. There's really not much differentiation there. This one has a pretty sizable antenna, so it's got high gain. It should be able to work just about in any center console, even if there's a top on it, no problem. It also has a built-in dual-channel 1 kilowatt True Echo CHIRP fish finder. And that's really cool because our previous products didn't have that same capability. And one of the nice things is that you can actually put variable frequencies. So it's got the capability, it's frequency agile, so you can change frequencies depending on what kind of transducer you have, or what kind of CHIRP transducer you have. All the latest CHIRP transducers are compatible.
Now, speaking of which, I have some older boats in my fleet. So if I wanted to add this new system, but keep my older transducer, is that possible?
Excellent question, and yes, the CHIRP fish finder inside TZtouch3 MFDs actually is switchable. So you can go back and switch it over to the traditional echo sounder and traditional echo sounder frequencies like 50 and 200,
Yep.
No problem. And we can drive anywhere from a 300 to a 1 kilowatt transducer on any boat. Just about any old transducer will work with this system, no problem.
So Eric, tell me the charts that come with this new unit.
There's a ton of charts we put in the TZtouch3. It comes with a 256 gigabyte card that's got basically every single chart you can imagine. So it's a good question because here's one where we get one back from the government. Our tax dollars at work. NOAA produces all the raster and vector charts in North America. The Virgin Island, the U.S. Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, Hawaii, Alaska, everywhere, and we get them for free as taxpayers.
Yep.
So Furuno passes that on to you through our MAP Media company. Our company called MAP Media converts all those charts, puts them right on the chip, and basically you can have access, and they're freely available for built into the machine. All the raster, all the vector charts. To switch them, I just go up here and I can switch between raster and vector. And we also have built-in fishing and bathymetric charts and even satellite imagery that our competitors charge for. So that's a huge value for any customer buying this machine. If you prefer raster charts, no problem. If you want to look at a raster chart and a vector chart side by side, I can just bring this up. Side-by-side charts, switch one over to raster and one over to vector, and no problem. There's a raster chart and a vector chart of the same area.
Awesome.
Yeah. Additionally, we also build in all the Navionics charts that even our competitors have, all the CMAP charts our competitors have, as well as the CMOR charts.
Now on my TZT2,
Okay.
I have the CMOR maps installed.
Right.
And they're great. I mark up my swordfish grounds,
Yep.
everything like that. That's something that we can add to the TZT3, but for purchase, right?
Right, exactly. Those are purchase charts, but the cool thing is that you don't have to send out and order anything and receive extra chips and try to add more chart slots to add them in. They're all built into that one card. So you just go into our chart guide and you can find the ones you want to unlock and just simply unlock them. Punch in the code.
And the lock is right here.
The lock is right there. Call in, get the code, add your, just give somebody your credit card number, one of our dealers, and unlock the charts that you want. They're all in there.
Furuno MFD already comes with satellite overlay charts. It also comes with NOAA raster and vector charts already embedded within the unit. I see here on System A that it does not. So I'm just going to talk a little bit more about what else is embedded in the Furuno MFD and System A. In the Furuno MFD, we have a embedded 1 kilowatt dual band CHIRP sounder. It is also the same for System A, 1 kilowatt dual band sonar.
All right, so the other thing we could talk about are the built-in features. So we know that System B has a built-in 72-channel WAS GPS receiver, which is 72 channels is kind of an industry standard, so all the units have that, which is nice. As far as the built-in fish finder is a dual channel 1 kilowatt CHIRP fish finder, which is built right into the unit.
That's nice.
Which is really nice. So now let's talk about charts. We'll go into these a little bit more in depth later on when we get to the chart plotting section, but we'll kind of cross over what they have built in. So this plotter comes preloaded with all of the CMAP US enhanced vector charts and the Navionics base vector charts preloaded. You can purchase the NV raster charts, the digital raster charts, which I don't know if you're familiar with raster charts at all.
Not too much, no.
Okay. Those are kind of the paper charts, and
Gotcha.
we'll go into those in a little bit more detail later. It also has the option for like the Navionics Platinum and Gold Plus charts, the CMAP, the Insight charts, which is a System B, kind of exclusive thing that they do where they can record and you can kind of create your own charts. Those are all accessories that you have to buy on top of. So we're just going to run with what's in the machine preloaded.
Sitting here looking at our TZT3 12-inch and System C 16-inch. Both of these units are going to have a built-in GPS antenna. On System C, we're going to have a built-in 1 kilowatt CHIRP system. Now, we are also going to have built-in down scan, side scan, and a 3D type sonar. This unit came with a Navionics Plus installed on it, and we're going to go to our chart page here. And this is a good detailed chart. It also is going to have the ability to switch to a fishing chart as well. To switch your charts here, we have to go to our menu, and then we have some options here where we go to simple chart. So if we click on simple, it's going to take a lot of the detail out of the chart. We can go back to detailed, a lot of that detail's back on there, your markers and stuff. We go back to menu, this is where we can turn on our fishing chart. This should give us high detail bathymetric lines on the chart plotter itself.
Looking at what comes standard, each system has similar built-in features such as a GPS receiver and a 1 kilowatt CHIRP fish finder. System A and C have built-in 3D side scan sonars, where TZtouch3 and System B have them as options. All systems come with some version of vector charts, but TZtouch3 is the only system that comes standard with both official NOAA raster and vector charts. All of the systems include satellite photos, except for System A, where it is an optional add-on. Also, all 4 systems can add on CMOR charts.
So Jack, one of the great things about TZtouch3 is the customizability of the numbers and the size of the numbers, or spot soundings, or the scale and layout. And with this, in this case, we have this data box out, and this is the normal size, but we can even make it bigger or smaller depending on the customer. Say you have a little bit older gentleman or the customer, and he wants bigger numbers to be able to see them a little more clearly, we can do that. Or for you, maybe you want to have some more data in this window right here. We can actually reduce the size really in a simple way.
Can you show me?
Absolutely. If I press the home button, go into my settings menu, go into general, and I look for scale and layout right here. It's under normal right now by default, but if you want to add more data, you can totally do that. I can say smallest, and you see when I come back out, the data and the home button and even the event key is all smaller. So that may be fine for you. Some people may want it bigger, but you see here we can put a lot more data in that area.
Absolutely.
If we want to do that.
And even at smallest, it's still easy to read.
It's still easy to read, yeah. And let's make it big just to show how big we can get, and it's really kind of cool. So boom, I go back to scale and layout, and I say large. Now it's large. Now watch what happens. Really big numbers.
Yeah, very easy to see.
Yeah, very easy to see. Nice thing about this too is I can do the same thing with my spot soundings or my heading line. If my heading line's a little thin and you want to make it bigger, you can do that as well. If I go in, say settings, and I go down to my vector chart information, so on the vector charts we can actually change that, my chart object size. Watch what happens when I make this bigger. Those spot soundings pop.
Absolutely.
You know, yeah, so it's much easier to see. I've had people ask for this kinds of features, and I'm pretty sure our other competitors' products can't even go there. They
Wow.
can't do it. And this is really important for a lot of people to just make their ease, you know, to make ease of operation and viewability much, much better.
So now we're going to talk about customizing the unit. You know, there are certain things that you can do as far as changing like text size and font size and how big and small the home buttons are. Now, in your opinion, now the menu keys and the home buttons and stuff, are they a good size? Are they too small, too big? You know?
I don't see any issues with it.
Okay.
It performs well. I can see it clearly, and I don't think there's anything negative to say about it.
Okay. I think we can get in though. We can get into the menu and we can change the actual font size. So if we go in here to menu and then go to the menu key, yep. And then under general we have text size. So this is only the really only the setting we have here. We can change the text size between large, normal, and small, which will affect just about everything. The waypoints, the menus, all sorts. So there it is in small, and there it is in large. It comes defaulted in normal.
On System C, I don't have the ability to change the way the way my home button looks or the size of it, but what I can do is I can change the size of my depth number here or my data overlay. What I would do is go to the menu page, come down to the gears, and I can go to page settings and I can edit data overlays. Now what I can do is touch on that depth number and I can go to resize and I can go to extra large and I can drag that down here. So I do have the ability to change my data, but I cannot change the size of my home screen on System C.
So one of the really cool things about the display and the capabilities is that, for example, you're a commercial guy, you're out working, you've got a lot of points right in a pretty tight area.
I got over 3,000 spots, and when I zoom out, it looks very cluttered.
Yeah.
How can I fix that?
Yeah. Well, good question. We have this new feature called point density, where we can go in and reduce the point density so that it doesn't look like just a million points all in one place. And to do that is really simple. I just press the home key, go into settings, I go into my points and boundaries, and you see there's a point density setting right here. If I touch it, I can make it low, medium, and full. Full tends to really just combine everything and just turn the whole screen can turn black if you have a lot of points in one area. But if you can reduce it to medium or low, a lot of times that really helps you understand and see the charts a lot better as you zoom out. Another thing when you're also running a lot is you get a lot of track lines. And the track line density can also be adjusted in the same way. So if you got a lot of track lines and it's just covering up your chart in a given area, I can go into settings, I can go into ship and track, and I can go down here to my track line thickness and reduce that down from a really thick track line to a thin track line.
We really don't have any way of affecting like the points, how the points are configured, point density. Which, you know, is that a problem for you if you're out there with a lot of waypoints?
Sometimes, because you want to be able to click on it and then the other ones can get in the way of it. So yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I don't have the ability to change my size of my points or my point density, but what I can do is I can go into my menu under the Go button here. I can come to waypoints. I can then select a group and touch on it, and I can go to this chart where it says shown. I can then hide it. So I can put my waypoints into different groups, and I can hide certain groups, but I cannot change my point density so that I always have all my points available. I have to hide certain waypoints. On System C, in order to change those thicknesses, what we're going to do is we're going to press on our menu button, we're going to go to the gears, and then we're going to press on Advanced. Once we're in Advanced, we're going to scroll down to the bottom, and we are going to be able to change our route width, track width, or vector width. I'll touch on where it says normal, and I can make it thin, normal, or wide from there.
So one of the great features, Jack, about this TZtouch3 MFD is the capability to take screen captures in just a normal PNG file format. A good time to do it might be when you're over a wreck with the DFF 3D, or you see some really cool fish targets or fish sign that you want to record and maybe post on Instagram later or your website. Okay. So here's a way to do it. If you touch the home button and you go into settings and you go general, this first two marks, the first two tabs are 2-finger tap and 2-finger long tap. Those are our gesture commands that we've built into the product, and I'm pretty sure that none of our other competitors have that capability to do gesture functions like that. So let's look at it and see what we do. I have it set for long tap function, the 2-finger long tap function for screen capture. So if we get back out of the menu and just pick any screen we want, whenever I go and press 2 fingers, as soon as I hear that confirmation beep, I know that the screen is captured, and whatever's on the screen is saved as that file. It's just that easy. Now, tie that over to our remote controllers, the MCU002 and the MCU004. The function keys mimic the gesture commands. So I can do the same thing. If I press that function key for a long period of time, it also captures the screen. It's really pretty simple. And the nice thing is, on the TZT12F, we actually built in the hybrid controller, so the function key is built in right there. You don't even have to touch the screen. If it's rough out, it's a windy day or something like that, and you're kind of all over the place, you can use that hybrid control function and use the function key. Boom, press it and capture a screenshot. It's really simple.
When it comes to customizing your MFD display, TZtouch3 and System C seem to have the edge. All of the systems can change the text and object sizes, but System A and B cannot adjust the track line, heading line, or route line thickness. Only TZtouch3 can change the waypoint density, but System C does offer a waypoint folder which can help organize your waypoints. All of the systems can also take screenshots. So, just as kind of an overall thought, so for all you captains, this was your first chance to really take a look at TZT3 and see it in person. I'm just kind of curious as what was your overall thought? I mean, you guys are using TZT2, you're familiar with it, you've used it for a couple of years now. What's your initial thought on TZT3? All the way from the display, now being an IPS display, to some of the new user interface things that we put in there. What's your overall thought on that?
Faster.
Yeah, the speed
Faster.
and the power.
Yeah,
it's noticeable.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's dramatic, actually. Yeah.
Literally made something already simple, you've made it simpler.
Yeah, a lot faster because I have 4 processors instead of 2 now. So it's just as quick as you move the fingers. Nice.
Yeah, and that's actually an interesting point that Jordan made, is that I noticed that too when I started using that, is it keeps up with you. So as fast as you can move, the system moves just as fast as that. Captain Cam, how about you?
I think it was great. I was with Braden on product test boat C, and TZT3 has just come so far from what people think Furuno used to be, and much more easier and user friendly for, I guess, a younger generation of guys like myself to get on and touch something and be able to interact with it just super easily and normally. So.
Okay, great. Matt, how about you? What did you catch up on, or what did you find out here?
And I think the common theme is how easy our user interface is. And It can relate also into boating safety. You know, it ups your situational awareness. The less time that your eyes are physically on the screen, going to a specific, specific screen, whether it be radar, Chartplotter, depth sounder, you can focus your attention on the water.
Yeah, Eric, you brought up point density. Cam and I were talking about that a little bit. You know, as a charter captain, Cam, how many points do you have in your machines? Thousands?
Well, yeah, definitely thousands.
More. Being able to reduce that point density can help you find those points on
The
there.
point size and the point density are both adjustable in TZtouch3, so that when you zoom out, I've seen the other machines, they just black out the whole screen sometimes, depending on how it's working, depending on how you have it configured. And with TZtouch3, you can clean it up, make it, give it the way, make it look the way you want it to and the way that works for you.
So Jeff, since we're already talking to all the captains, the very last video we shot on System A boat today with Captain Mike was actually concerning security. And I don't think Mike knew it was in there. And once we showed him how to set it up, which is the TZT3's pin code lock, he did a great video for us on, because we were looking at his unit and he has thousands and thousands of waypoints in there. And making sure those waypoints are secure, I mean, like he said, that's his income. And it resides on that machine. I was just curious if the other captains hadn't seen it yet, what they thought about that. Did you even know it was in there yet, Manny?
No, I didn't.
Okay, okay.
Finding out.
That'll be tomorrow.
That'll be tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow? Oh, we'll go over it. We'll go over it.
Yeah, Mike got a preview.
It's hard to stress enough how how super important keeping that data is and how valuable it is to you guys who are fishing every day. If somebody gets your points and they're fishing your spots, they're taking your freaking money away. That's hard-earned money that you've gone out and and worked and tried to find and found that over time. And we know how valuable it is, and that's why we wanted to give you security, at least true data security for what makes you money,
and theft deterrent.
And theft deterrence too. Yeah.
When people see the Furuno, they're gonna know.
Yeah.
Hey.
They can't break it in.
Yeah, it's like, I'm gonna pass that one up. On to the next.
Right on. All right. Well, it was a good day, guys. You guys did a great job. We've got more coming here in the next couple of days. So we're just going to wrap this up today. Tomorrow we're on to the next set of videos and the next set of features. We're going to get the boats out on the water and actually start testing out some of the systems. We're going to be looking at the radar. We're going to be looking at the fish finder, the side scanning. We're going to look at target resolution and all the different features that is important to you guys and what the customers really want to see when they're buying a system and making a comparison. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and click the little bell below for notifications the next time we upload a video. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you soon.